Hey everybody, it's Dr. Quincy Hawley, and I wanted to shoot a really quick video about the story of the self and the system. Okay, what am I talking about? So I oftentimes get asked the question, or I'll have the debate with an individual because I get motivated, right? Like we're really talking about the individual aspect of well-being and overcoming burnout and things like that, right? And there are two parts of any burnout scenario, right? There's always going to be the systemic part and then the self. So if this is the self here, right? This is me, okay? This is me here. And I live and operate within a system, okay? A system of things where there are clients, right? Usually with the system, you can't control it a lot. There are other people like your team members, your boss, and things of that nature. Maybe within the system, there's a certain amount of money that I'm making. If I work at a certain practice and I've agreed to a certain salary, a certain amount of pay, maybe there's things like a pandemic that are involved systemically that I can't really control. And there are a host of other things, the type of cases that come into the veterinary hospital, right? If you are in general practice, like maybe you get an emergency in this one. My daughter recently, we just did Easter eggs, and some of the eggs would have candy, and some of the eggs would have like coins, right? That's kind of how it is in general practice, where some of the it's an emergency, almost like a puppy in preventive care, things of that nature. But the only thing that you have 100% control over is you, the self. You have complete control over the self, and you also have the complete control over how you react to whatever happens in the system, right? So a client comes in and they are over demanding. There's a certain way that you can react to that. There's certain things that you can do, maybe to get more money, to have a little bit of a better experience. You can control you, and that's what we want to focus on. And the reason we want to focus on you is because it's really hard to change the system. And so we don't want to wait on the system to change. Some people will argue up and down with me all day long that, look, Dr. Hawley, it's because of the system. So why are you asking us to do individual things? We should be out there trying to change the system. I was burnt out back in 2013 to 2016. If the system still isn't fixed now, you mean to tell me that I should just hang in there from 2016 all the way to where I am now with the still broken system and still with the unhappiness and the burnout that I would have had I not have learned the power of the self and the things that I can control, and my mindset and my actions and thoughts and words, and my ability to cut off negative emotions, right? To experience them for a certain period of time or a certain while, and then be able to move on because I've developed myself mentally and emotionally. If it's the system and only the system, and we're saying that the system is still jacked up, that means that technically I should still be burnt out. I should still have limited well-being. But I'm not burnt out, and I have abundant well-being. I have my challenges, right? I had a situation earlier today that really had me in a bad place, right? Had me in a bad place, but I have tools and strategies and tactics and resources and principles to go to help me get out of that, so it doesn't drag me through the day and into tomorrow and into next week and next month and next year. Today's problems and challenges are today's problems and challenges, and there's so many different things that we can do. So again, we don't want to wait on the system because systemic change takes way too long. We want to focus on what you can do so you can be happy today, so you can have well-being today, you can be burnout free today, and not have to wait for your practice manager or your boss or for the AVMA or for the government or for Russia or whoever to start behaving themselves so that we can have a better life. Here's the question, magic question, does the system need reform. That's not a C, that's an R. Make it a capital R. Now it looks like a blob. Anyway, does the system need reform? The answer is, number one answer on the board is yes. Yes, it needs reform. Underline it, right? The system needs reform. Yes, it does. Who's going to do that? When is it going to happen? I don't know. Hopefully it happens soon. And there are people and organizations working on that. But my point is this. Yes, the system needs reform. Yes, Get MotiVETed has plans to address the system as a whole. But when we think about it, if we all address ourselves as individuals and do all that we can do as it relates to our own personal development, our own self-care, right? And choosing to learn, choosing to pick up the books, choosing to pick up a stack of books and to read the stack of books, right? I've got books everywhere. There are books behind this whiteboard. It's a huge bookshelf with lots of books. There are lots of resources that are out there. And I understand that you're already busy. I understand that you're already tired. But what other choice do we have? You can either wait on the system to change, right? Which is going to take a long time, right? Or we can change ourselves instantly and begin to enjoy this amazing profession that we are so passionate about, that we have invested so much into it. We can begin to experience it and enjoy it today because we understand that yes, the system needs to be changed, but it takes a long time. I don't want to wait for that for me to have well-being and to be happy. So I'm going to change myself first. And when you change yourself, you have more power to affect the system. Because Renee and I changed ourselves, now we have the confidence and we have the conviction and we have the tools and the strategies and the know-how to be able to go into a veterinary hospital and talk to the practice manager on the team's behalf and to talk to the owner on the team's behalf. And to create programs like the Veterinary Burnout Prep Certification Program, and to create things like the School of Wellbeing. Those things will affect the system, but we have to affect ourselves first. That's it. Enjoy the rest of your day. I really appreciate you as a veterinary professional. Again, one of our biggest messages is that you don't need to be resentful about your choice to become a veterinary professional. You made a great choice. Now you have to redream. So your initial dream was to become a veterinary technician or assistant or veterinarian or whatever, practice manager, right? That was your initial dream. Now we need to redream and add in the details of this is how I want my experience to feel. This is how I want my experience to look. This is how I want to feel when I come home at the end of the day at work. This is how I want to feel while I'm at work, right? Go and redream it and then add in the tools and the strategies to be able to make that into your reality. Veterinary profession is still one of the most rewarding and prestigious professions out there. It's got its challenges, but don't we all? See ya at Get MotiVETed University in the certification program.